All right. Thanks, everyone. I've got from left to right head coach Lindsay Gottlieb, McKenzie Forbes, and Juju Watkins. Coach, you want to start with an opening statement, and then I'll take questions, so just let me know when you're ready.
Sure. Obviously appreciate the coverage, and it's not lost on me or any of us what a fantastic level of excitement there was for this game, and obviously the UCLA support staff did a good job kind of pulling off this type of crowd, and we really appreciate what this does for women's basketball. I told the players in there, like, we hate losing. I mean, we're fortunate this is our first time feeling it this year, but I wouldn't trade being in that locker room that I was in. That's a little more sad than the other one. I wouldn't trade, spots with any coach anywhere in basketball right now with this group. I thought we showed a lot, especially going down early, the way we battled back. The character factor, I think, for us was really high, and I think we're going to look back at the film and have so many things we can do better, which is really a positive thing. But in terms of just like how we feel, I'm really proud of our effort in our fight, and we got to get better. And now the focus goes on to the next 17 of these things in this league.
Second row. Go ahead.
Coach, they were able to have an advantage on the rebounds and offensive rebounds. I think they got you guys about like 10 rebounds. What could your team have done better to control the board?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. If you look at any of their statistical analysis, you can't avoid it, right? It's the second chance points. It's the percentage of their first shots, if they miss it, that they get. So it's been a focus of ours. I thought we actually did a decent job of not letting the O-boards turn into points every single time. 16 O-boards for 16 points. I think we can cut that down. It's been a point of emphasis, but we can be even better there. But I thought, there was an effort there, and it's really hard. They do a great job of going to the boards, and it's really physical, and we have to improve in that area.
Coach, my first question is from the game in the first quarter. What do you feel like was the reason why you guys had a slow start, but you was able to come back and in the second half get things time?
Yeah, I mean, I think we turned the ball over, 4 times in the first 3 minutes, and then only 2 more times the rest of the half. So that's from a tangible standpoint, it was the turnovers. I also thought it took us a minute to adjust and deal with the physicality. Like, I thought, we play a little bit differently than them. Like, we play more kind of space and perimeter oriented, and our players had a hard time moving around. Early on, they had to figure that out to be able to adjust. And so I thought it was, turning the ball over less and adjusting to the physicality of the game.
And my second question is, Juju, what was it like for you to have your first face of a UCLA USC Bruins matchup? What was it like for you being on TV?
Sure. I mean, of course, it's not great to lose first one, but it was a great game. I'm glad I got out here to compete with my team, and we fought. But this is just a learning lesson for us. Go back to Galen and figure out what we need to do to continue to improve.
Okay.
Crystal Rich, KTLA. Juju, coach just spoke about this game being very physical. What was the biggest thing that you can take away as a learning point or a lesson from this loss?
I mean, great team, great defense. I think as a player, kind of new to the game, new to college, just learning from every game, learning the defenses from each team, and really learning how to slow myself down. So this is an opportunity for me to learn more about myself and how I need to continue to evolve when we play teams like this, I guess.
Joe and then Juju. Joe.
Okay. Just Lindsay, maybe for Juju and McKenzie too, how much of a stressor is it when you get off the slow shooting starts at the beginning of each half and try to work your way back?
Yeah, I mean, they're an excellent team, and if you dig yourself a hole, it's harder. Like I said, I think we're going to look back at this film, and if we don't give them a 10-point cushion, it's a different game. If we don't, kind of have a rough start to the second half, it's a different game. So it puts a lot of, I think, just pressure on the ability to come back, because it's not like they're going to stop coming at you. So definitely, put pressure on us to have to play from behind. And I think if you're playing from ahead, it feels a little different. Thanks.
Lindsay was talking about them, the character factor of this team.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about in the locker room. Like, I think we showed a lot of grit and a lot of heart. Like you guys said, like we dug a hole in the first and we kind of dug a hole in the third as well. But I think we showed a lot of fight and coming back from that. Obviously on the road, shots maybe not falling. But I felt like we stayed locked in defensively. I feel like we really battled on that end, on the boards, and just being scrappy. So I think we can take that away as a positive.
Coach, I can't tell you the last time Paul Pavilion was sold out for women's basketball. Can you explain to me why games like this are a boom for women's basketball?
I mean, if you're not on the women's basketball and the women's sports train, then you're late. I think it's unbelievable to have, you know, little girls, little boys, the community, you know, all types of people here to see, you know, strong women compete. I think we don't shy away from that attention. We're trying to draw that. I think, you know, you can't talk about it without, you know, mentioning the type of draw that Juju is and her ability to stay home and bring people in our team, being an exciting team to watch, and the success that UCLA has had, and you know, what they did to bring people here. But people have been talking about this game for, you know, weeks and weeks. I'm trying to keep our team focused on the next game in front of us, but I think it's a really important factor, and I think it's going to continue to grow, and that's something that we relish and we look forward to.
Bill, Haley,
Yeah, Juju, you were on the bench in the last minute. Were you dehydrated?
Yeah, cramp.
Haley.
Juju, slow start for you. What did you kind of draw on to get yourself out of that and get yourself going?
Yeah, just slowing myself down. I mean, we haven't faced a team like this so far, so just getting used to the physicality, you know, yeah. So I had to just slow it down and really try to pick apart defense.
Can I add one thing there that I noticed? I thought she got her way to the free throw line, right? And so, you know, people ask me all the time, what's it like coaching Juju, and what do you see every day? I think for an 18-year-old to be able to adjust in real time and figure out what's going on and get to a different spot. I mean, Kenzie's like a coach out there. You know, she's so cerebral, and she's older and been through it, and she's been the smartest player that I've ever had. But Juju's ability in real time with all this stuff coming at her to just figure it out is really impressive. And I saw that the first time we did a closed scrimmage. You know, you can do exhibition games or closed scrimmages. We went and played, you know, arguably the best man-to-man defensive team in the country, Texas. And in her first time putting on this uniform, had Rory Harmon all over, and, you know, I'm sick about her injury. But even then, I saw her adjust in real time. I think that's it's really impressive to see that, because sometimes, you know, young players are like, okay, this is what they're doing. I don't know what to do, right? And with all the attention and pressure, I think she finds a way to pick apart what's going on. And I think that's why we'll continue to improve. And then there's a ton of stuff for our coaching staff to do and our team to do to schematically do things a little bit better to put us in more favorable situations next time we play them.
This question's kind of for everyone. I feel like everyone has kind of a different perspective when it came to it. But it seemed like at times the offense kind of was stagnant and you guys couldn't get into the offense. What did they do well defensively that kind of disrupted that for all of you?
Well, they're very physical, so I think, like has been mentioned, we're used to being able to cut and move. You know, they kind of stop you from cutting. They kind of get up in you. There's a lot of fouls called, so I think when you have a defense like that, you just have to be more aggressive screener and more aggressive cutter, really fight to get yourself open. So I think that's kind of the lag that we had.
And also, we're new. Like a bunch of new pieces to the team. So each game we're learning more about each other and our strengths. I mean, this is the beginning of the season, so we got a long way to go. So this doesn't really determine anything.
Last question. Do you have a question?
Lindsay, how would, obviously it's important that this not be just a one-off, this atmosphere and everything you saw tonight. What is it going to take to build off of this?
In terms of crowd?
Yeah, in terms of crowd and enthusiasm and
Yep.
build-up.
So what we've seen in the Galen Center and what we've seen at USC, to me, in our non-conference, with teams coming in that don't have, Pac-12 names attached, has been really impressive over time. And we had some, Big West teams and WCC teams, and there's a groundswell. So some of it's organic, right? Like, they're coming to see this team, right? Like, they're coming to see Juju. They're coming to see the way we play. And then we have to continue to compound that, like, natural excitement with marketing efforts. I mean, women's basketball takes ground roots, people on the ground, our willingness to interact, our willingness, and our administration's done a great job. So I do not think this is going to be the end for us at all. I mean, I'm excited to get to Galen every Friday, Sunday, and I think we have one Friday, Monday in the ESPN game against Arizona. Like, I think Galen's going to be packed regularly. We hope that there's a couple sellouts, but I think that with what we have going, this is not going to be a one-off type of thing.
Is it important to get on the big network? I mean, the Pac-12 network for this one, and then for the return when you guys play UCLA there. But is it important to get games like this on ESPN, on Fox, get the nation talking about basketball in Southern California?
Absolutely. I mean, I literally had NBA GMs or coaches or friends on the East Coast going, how do I watch the game? So the fact that, obviously we all know, I don't say in this room, that's been the issue, that's been the problem. So I think they should move all of our games to a national, network at some point. And we don't want to wait till next year, as soon as we can here, because I think, we've got an exciting team and people want to see us. And our job is to continue to get it better so that when we are on national TV, people want to come out and watch us play or watch us again the next time.
Sorry, that's the last question.
McKenzie or Juju, coaches gave you guys huge praise, talking about how you're able to decipher the code defenses in real time. Where does that come from, and who was most influential in your cerebral approach to the game?
That's a good question. I don't know. For me, I grew up around basketball. My dad played. My grandpa played. I grew up every summer I was at my dad's basketball camps. So I think just being around the game and loving it, it's always on the TV. I don't really watch a lot of series. I watch NBA, WNBA, college basketball. So I think for me, it's just been watching it and playing my whole life. I just love consuming basketball. So maybe it's from that. Maybe it's natural. I don't know.
Thanks, everyone.